Hello everyone, I'm Faral Imran and today I'll show you the task that I've done, which is to make a to-do list using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's get started. At first in HTML, of course I'll be using the HTML boilerplate. So in the extension when you write, you can download that HTML boilerplate. After that, when you write HTML, then this code comes. So this is the head, and inside you can write the title, and this you have to add this link which is to the style sheet. Now style sheet is a .css file, so that you link it, so whatever like changes you make, for example if you're adding the color and anything like that, you can add that file, so that when the file will be linked, so those changes will be made to the HTML file. Inside the body there is an h1, which is a to-do list. It's a heading 1. Inside there's another div class of to-do form. Inside there's a text which the ID is task, and the placeholder is add a new task. Now the button, there's an on-click button in which there is written as add task. So this is the input, like here you'll add the text as input, and here there's a button added to it in which the on click function is equal to add task, which I'll tell you about it later in the video. And there's the button name is add task. After that there we have added the task list ID. This is the UL, which is the unordered list, and here I've added the script. Now the script is src is equal to scripter.js. This is the .js file. So whatever functionality you have to add to the HTML file, so you use .js, which is .javascript file. Here, and if I open with live server here, okay, so this is added, like there's a to-do list h1, there's an input like where you can add the input text, and here's the button which is called the add task. Okay, so all this color of it is added using the CSS file, and when I'll click this button, whatever functionality will happen, that is due to the JS file, the JavaScript file. So here in CSS, in the button I've made the changes what the background color is, and the color of it, this color is the text color, and there's no border. The border radius is 5 pixel. So like you see that there's some like round corners, so like if we add like more pixel, the button will be more rounded, the corners will be round more. When you add the padding of 10 pixel and 20 pixel, that is the space with the text and the border. Like in the button you find the text and the button, there's the space, so the cursor is the pointer and margin is 10 pixels. So unordered list, here the list style type is none. So when you see that in unordered list, when you add li is the list, like the ordered list, when you add that, it happens that you find that there's bullet points with it. So when you add this list style type is equal to none, so those bullet points will disappear. And here when you see in li, I've added the background color as white, padding as 10 pixels, border radius as 5 pixels. And here what I did, see, after that I'll tell you like what I did in this checkbox thing. Here if you see, yeah, if I add an item like for example walk in the park, it's a to-do list, of course I'll add it. Now when you add this task, well the I is not needed here. Okay, when I add this task, when I click on it, now this functionality happens. Now this functionality is due to the JS file, and this checkbox came because of the CSS. And there's a delete button also that is added in the JS file. Here in JS file what I did, now this is the function add task. Now this add task is added to the on click function. Now on click is equal to add task, and it refers to this function. And inside what it is done, that constant, here it's like making a new variable. So this is a constant that you're making. And first we made as task input. Inside we will get the element by id. Now document dot get element by id means like to get the element by id. Now the task is the name, is the id name. Now which id am I talking about? It's this id here. For the text, input type text, the id is task. I'm talking about this one. So they're talking about, or in the file it's talking about this id. So they will get the text, that whatever you write, that it will get, and it will be added in the constant with task input. Now there is another task text, that what will happen, this task input, its value will be trimmed, like it will get separated. Now if there's a task text, means like after trimming you see like there are words, or there are, it's not empty. So you'll see that constant task list will make another constant in which you get the document dot get element by id. Now which element by id you'll get, or you'll take, it's this one, the task list of the unordered list. Now if you see that when I add this, when I add like items, for example, if I say like cooking here, when I add this, now it's coming as an unordered list, like, and there's a checkbox also, and there's a delete button also. I'm talking about this one. So whatever the text will be written here, that will be added to this one, task list. And then a new list item will be created, like document.create element li. Now it will hold the task, the checkbox, label, and delete button. Now here I'm adding the checkbox. Now the checkbox that was created, like as you can see in the website, I've not added in any CSS file or HTML file. I've added it here. Like I've first created an element called input, and then I've added that checkbox dot type, like the input type would be checkbox. After that, there's another constant called label, which will be created so that we can display the task test. Now which task test am I talking about? So this is the label that will be displayed, so that I'm talking about. So now this content which will be added, now this task test will be added here. Now there's another, now a delete button will also be created. So the constant delete button, first again it will create element as button, and then delete button dot text content, it will be as delete. After that, a click event listener. Now what is click event listener to the label? So when you click on it, what happens on it? That is the thing. Like if we click on it, what happens on it? That is the click event listener. It listens to the mouse click. So label dot add event listener click means like the mouse click, and then the function would be that to toggle completed. Now it will like specify that if you click on it, or if you click on the label, it will set as that is completed, and it will update the local story. This is another function that is added, which I'll tell you now. Update local after that it will go to the update local storage. Now this is this one here, update local storage. Now what is this? Here you first another again variable or the constant is created. In that document.query selector all, which you get the task list and the li of the task list. After that, an empty list is created, like this empty list is created. And then task is, in that you have added a for item, like for loop. So inside you're adding the label, the input type checkbox, which will be added to this constant, and the label dot text content, now which is constant dot task test, which is created and is completed, is checkbox dot checked. If the checkbox is checked, that will be added in is completed. Now here that will be pushed. Pushed means it will be added in this. And then the local storage will set item as task, and it will save the updated task array. So this is the array that is created, not the list. to local storage. Now what is the local storage? Local storage is that, for example, whenever you are writing a task or saving it, whenever you refresh it, so it goes away, it happens. So if you make a local storage and you add the things or the text that you've added in the local storage as well as displaying on the website, after that, whenever how much ever times you will reload, it will not go away, it will not, the text will not disappear. Okay. And after that, there's a delete button. You'll add an event listener that will listen to the click, which is the click of the mouse. And then the function is that the task list dot remove child. So from the li, you'll remove the child. And then remove from local storage also task test. Now remove from local storage, this is another function. Now here what it does, it checks if local storage is first of all available, and if it's available, it will retrieve the items, and then it will filter out that item that we do not want. So it will filter that out, and then it will update it or set it. After that, here, after removing it, it will again like go to update, means it will update it, the task test will be updated. After that, we'll append the checkbox, label, and delete button to the li. So you can see that at first the checkbox is appearing, then the label, and then the delete button. Now you can see that we'll append the li to the task list. Now li will be appended to the task list. Now which task list am I talking about? It's this one, task list, where it was, yes, this one, this was the task list, so it will get appended to this task list, and then the task will be saved to local storage. So, and here if it's set to false, now function save task to local storage, it will check the local storage, then it will add the new task, and then it will save the updated task. And then at the end, I'll load the task from local storage when the page loads, and that's all from my side. Now this is important because if you do not load this one, or if you do not add this one, the whole thing will disappear. So you have to load it also. So loaded happens means whatever you have added, that it will get like displayed. That is the load task from local storage. That's all from my side. Thank you for watching.